Travel back in time to the 80s, reliving the shenanigans.
It was the early 80s, and sex was still a good way to meet new people.
The disappointment.
Now, that's a real shame when folks be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
And the self-confidence.
I'm 6 foot, 3 inches tall, and maintain a very consistent panda bear shape.
Because just like you, we're stuck in the 80s.
Sure, it's not 1985 right now, but who knows what tomorrow will bring.
Hey, welcome to Stuck in the 80s. It's your pal Spearsy.
And Brad in LA.
And today we wrap up the year 2021 with just one phrase.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Where do I start? Oh, right. Stuck in the 80s is sponsored by the 80s Cruise. Join me and Spearsy for 7 days in the Eastern Caribbean this spring alongside bands like The Human League, ABC, Berlin, Morris Day and the Time, ABC, Belinda Carlisle, John Parr, Modern English, A Flock of Seagulls, The Sugar Hill Gang, and Night Ranger, a band that was just added, plus a lot of other acts. And get $200 cabin credit when you use the promo code STUCK when booking. Go to www.the80scruise.com for more information. Oh, and our podcast is also listener-supported. Get access to exclusive content and join us for VIP Zoom happy hours when you donate as little as $2 a month. Go to patreon.com/stuckintheeighties-podcast for more info.
And?
What?
There's more.
I don't believe there is, sir.
Did I forget something, big man?
God blesses everyone.
Aw, you've gotten all mushy as a married man. Your heart has grown 3 sizes this day, Stephen Spears.
That explains a lot about how this shirt's fitting. But, hey, so it's the holiday season. I have to ask you, what are you doing? People will want to know.
We're going down to Katie's mom's. We'll spend time with her extended family down there in another part of California. It's not too far. The kids are coming home. They get home tomorrow. So I'll be making the long trek to LAX and fighting my way through the traffic and the perpetually under construction arrivals area of LAX. And we'll take it from there.
Have your traditions for the holidays changed now that the kids are they're not out of college, but they're out of the house?
They are. Well, one of them is out of college. My daughter's working on a grad degree, but my son is out in the world like a grown-up and stuff, paying for car insurance. Like, it's crazy. I think they've changed and they haven't changed. Like, the things that they're excited about are the things that we always do. Like, Katie always makes these sticky rolls for breakfast on Christmas morning. And, we usually open one present on Christmas Eve and, just stuff like that. But it's just going to be nice to have him home.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you? Are you going to get the chance to say hi to your mom for me?
Say hi to your mom for me.
Yeah. I'm glad you finally got a chance to do that at the wedding.
Oh, my gosh. You guys, Steve's mom, she's amazing. She is amazing. I will tell at least one great story on the wedding podcast soon to come. But I really enjoyed the chance to meet your family, Steve. I mean, you don't know what people are going to be like. And, having met them for the first time, I can say that Steve Spears has a lovely extended family.
They're an eclectic little bunch. Holiday traditions are kind of weird because we're just starting a new family now. So we haven't had time to develop our traditions.
Sure.
But we'll go back to Tampa Bay and we'll do Christmas Eve church service at my mom's church. And then we always follow that up with Chinese takeout.
Delicious.
So there'll be the low and the main.
It's a Kung Pao Christmas at the Spearsy Lair.
Yeah. For New Year's Eve, it's again, we're living in the era of COVID, so the options aren't as plentiful as we would have liked. Right. So I think we're going to go to a tapas place that we love, and then we turn the kitchen of the Lair into a dance floor for 70s and 80s music. Nice. So we have like a little party lights and stuff like that, and if we play the music loud enough, then the dog doesn't get upset by the fireworks going off outside.
A little masking action. That's smart. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing for New Year's. For years, we would get invitations from friends to come and do things on New Year's, and we always have turned them down because the kids have been, basically my children who are crazy, would say, yeah, we want to spend New Year's with you guys. So I'm like, why would I not spend it with my kids when I can, right? So that now all these people that used to invite us places, well, A, it's COVID, and B, they're like, well, they're not coming anyway, so we don't get invited anywhere anymore. But I imagine we'll make a nice dinner and be out in the street at midnight banging pots and pans with wooden spoons to welcome in the new year, chase off the COVID.
Never done that.
It's something that came from Katie's family.
Okay,
so
well, that's good. I mean, it's
fun.
It's good to have traditions that carry over.
Drink a couple bottles of champagne and we'll get it done.
Speaking of traditions, it's kind of a tradition here at the podcast, at least over the last 10 years, that when we get to this time of year, we usually do an outtake show. So we call it like our stocking stuffer show. I don't know how many outtakes we had this year. It was such a crazy, insane year.
Yeah,
that
it's a little weird.
We didn't save as many outtakes as we should have. Some of them were so practically, hyperextension of eyeball rolling that I didn't want to save them. I didn't even want to relive them again. So.
I was going to say we don't have as many outtakes because we've gotten so good at podcasting. We are so professional. You can't even believe it, people. We are just, think of the people that are at the top of their game at podcasting, and we taught them everything they know. We are that good. Or not.
Well, we've been around that long.
Or not.
We've been around long enough to teach some people some things.
Negative lessons are still lessons.
Yeah. As far as summing up 2021, the year that I've tried 10 times before the show started to get right, instead of saying 2012, it was a weird year. You spent so much of it in New York City, and so did I actually. But you spent far more time.
It was a weird year. I didn't see that coming. In mid-June, I'm like, I guess business travel is back with a vengeance. And then I spent basically until the end of October, more or less, in New York. The upside of that was since Steve was in town quite a bit, I think I saw you more this year than I have probably ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we got to spend time together, which was fun.
We did some fun stuff. We did we did the bachelor party. We went to the Intrepid Museum. We went to the barcade, and
we ate steaks the size of our head.
I think part of it's still in me. And then, of course, everything comes to a conclusion in late November with the big wedding. And we're going to talk about that more in a future show. We keep saying
it's going to happen.
Keep pushing this little sucker down the road.
It's like, the wedding it's not going anywhere. It happened. There's proof.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hoping for too is by the time we do it, we have more photos, and
that would be nice.
Yeah. So, but some of the other things that happened in 2021, you finally had an interview with one of your heroes.
Yeah, that was fun. We had a show earlier, I guess it was this summer because I did it from New York, with Roger Bennett. Interviewed him about his memoir of growing up in Liverpool in the 80s. And if you haven't read it, I really enjoyed it. I think it reads, it's a very theatrical story. It's going to sound in places like it's ripped straight from a John Hughes script. Got almost nothing to do with soccer. I mean, he's best known as a soccer pundit, but the book has very little to do with that and just kind of casts a light on what it was like to grow up in Liverpool. But that was not the only interview we had this year.
Right. We had John Easdale of Dramarama and Michael Aston of Gene Loves Jezebel. Both of them will be on the cruise. They were late additions. So we got a chance to talk to them. Each one of those interviews was pretty fun.
Yeah, those are like kind of bookends for the cruise, I feel like.
And then we also got a chance to meet Annie Zaleski, the writer, who gave us the Duran Duran Rio book this year. And we also had her on for the Rolling Stone list of 500 best songs of all time.
Oh, she was a treasure. We should have her back as often as we can get her.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, not a bad year. Not as many podcasts produced as we normally do, but like I said, it was tough. You were traveling, I was traveling, you were working 20-hour days.
That part of the year was crazy. Steve and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Normally, this is how much I work, and then I have this many hours that I spend on podcasting a week. And this summer, it just kind of got all blown out because I was working 60 hours a week just to start with, and then it went up from there. So
yeah,
not to make my problems your problems, but if you're wondering maybe why we didn't have quite as much content this year, I just did not have as much time to spend on it.
We always say, too, that this is a hobby, not a job. And if it starts to feel like a job, then we need to postpone today's show for another day, or postpone the editing of today's show for another day. Hence we'll record a show and then maybe release it 10 days later.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time. And I do want to say, and I know Steve feels the same way, we really appreciate the support we're getting from the Patreon community. And, that doesn't make it a job, but I do feel that, they're giving us energy in the form of cash, and we owe them energy back in the form of podcasts, which, we love doing it or we wouldn't be doing it. But I do feel bad when we aren't as regular with the releases.
Sure. And I tell you, one of the things, too, that I really loved in 2021 was, we got the chance to continue doing those VIP happy hours. And I just have a blast every time. You just never know where the conversation is going to go every month when we do those. And so that's a real treat for me, at least.
Basically, I get to give Steve shit in person instead of just doing it. Other people can watch me giving him crap instead of it just happening on the podcast.
Yeah. It does kind of become a 1 hour long punching bag session at times, but I like that. So
I'll try to be nice in 2022.
Anyway,
I'll put that on a Post-it note. Be nice during Zoom happy hours.
Well, before we say goodbye to 2021, we wanted to again wish everyone a happy holidays and enjoy the folly of our mistakes with the outtake reel, and we'll see you next month because we're hopelessly stuck in the 80s.
Shall we play a game?
Hey, what can I tell you? It was the 80s. Stuff got real.
My God, you guys really, really edit well, because you do not get this sense of attitude like I sense from you right now. And it's like you don't get that sense at all as a listener. It's like this is like behind the scenes.
We scrub pretty hard.
Did you want to do this hat tip thing? I wasn't sure.
I'm going to work it into what I was going to say.
Okay. Sorry. I'll shut up.
Because nothing makes everything better. Because nothing makes things more better than the
more betterer.
I gotta tell you, as an aside, the sunset here is f***ing spectacular tonight.
It's all the pollution.
It's amazing. Yeah, there's some of that, but I mean, it is really, really pretty. Anyway, okay. So yeah, that's... Hopelessly stuck in Zamunda.
Is that the one with the super pit stain?
With the what?
The super pit stain where you can see like Superman needs some sort of antiperspirant product, perhaps?
I don't know what you're talking.
He's sweating through his underarm pits. No?
Cabin credit? I want cabin credit. Can I have cabin credit, please?
If this isn't going to be an interesting show, at least let it be short and concise. Sound like a DJ there.
You do.
A really bad one.
Well, at least you're not Richard Blade.
My good friend Geddy Lee called me yesterday.
After Geddy Lee and I... Oh. Wait. It's not right. It's not Bogus Trip. It's Bogus Journey. God, I'm so stupid. I have to do this again.
Became very close with her parents, her sister, and brother. They adopted me as their own.
So sorry. So sorry.
I'm like, wow, that was awesome. I'm like, Steve is really... Oh, no, that's a dog.
He's really letting go.
Tension breaker. Had to be done.
The mail came.
Join us for VIP Zoom happy hours, swag babs, swab bad.
You want to do this a different day? You don't see your...
No, I'm good. I'm good. Here we go.
Oh, my nipples are so hard.
I'm terrified.
I don't even know who did Bust a Move.
Young MC.
That's Bust a Move by Young MC. Say it. There it comes out here. I think even women got this one right. I shouldn't. That sounds sexist. I don't mean
Wow,
it that way.
I'm editing that out. I'm editing that right out.
You know, I don't see any women's names in here, though. No, there's one.
Well,
I see one.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
I see several.
I see Debbie.
I'm editing all of that out.
Okay, you really should. Please do.
Jesus.
Oh, what's the word?
Pedophile?
No. Please delete this.
Band kids don't smoke, right, Brad?
That's pretty true. Yeah, pretty true. Maybe some of the percussionists.
If you know it, email us at podcast@sitds.com and tune in when... If you know it. You got to start working on the outtake reel for 2021.
Preloaded.
You know, Pulp Fiction's just around the corner, John. Hold on for one more day.
You beat me to it.
If you didn't see it, it was 1986 animated film from Disney back when they still did animated movies that nobody watched.
That was not a Disney movie.
It says Disney.
No, that was an Amblin.
Okay.
Universal Amblin. Amblin produced it, distributed by Universal.
Why did I...
It's up your Spearsy.
Okay, well, I gotta do some...
Bless you, Spearsy.
Sure. Wow.
I'm editing this show, so I guess I have to edit that out. And this one...
Wow, it's like Mario
Bless you
is
again.
snoozing on the other end. It's me, Luigi.
I don't know why. Breaking.
You want to do another one?
Bill Moyers over here.
And that's the news.
I like that intro. It
speaks to me. This was written by, I won't even try and say that name, the guitarist Paul Wachter. I don't know how to say vowels in Norwegian. Swedish? Are they Swedish or Norwegian? Norwegian. Me.
Yes. And Tom Korn aus Österreich. You can say it in German, and he'll be very impressed with that.
I could, but I ain't gonna.
But you won't. That's okay.
You ready?
Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry,
that's okay.
guys.
No, that's fine. Now it says Brad introduces Chuck.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to introduce Chuck?
Email us, of course, at podcast@svt. Email.
You got this. You got this, bro.
God bless you, Oingo Boingo.
Is that Oingo Boingo?
Shit, I don't know. I assume that's what you're talking about there.
No. I'm trimming that whole thing out. That was a ridiculous cul-de-sac that I just led us into.
When you join at patreon.com/stuckinthe80spodcast. That's patreon.com/stuckinthe80spodcast. One more time, folks. Patreon.com/stuckinthe80spodcast. I will edit that out. Sorry,
Okay,
I don't know what came over me.
We're down to our last song, and
No, we're not. Oh, wait. Yes, you are. Sorry. Shut up.
It's important to know that the version you hear in the movie was sung by two mice, performed by Philip Glasser and...
I said I had answers to all these questions, didn't I? I don't have an answer to that one. I just realized that.
My eyebrows look much better on video camera than they do in real life. Look at that.
They're very solid.
They look thin and well shaped.
Ooh, you're so sexy.
Okay, here we go. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I be wearing something when I was naked?
That's okay. That's why it's funny. It's a complete non sequitur.
Yeah.
$0 with Prime. There's no other way to watch it.
Okay, well, there you go.
So we'll cut all that crap out.
Yeah.
That was exciting. Thanks for joining us today on Brad Uses the Internet.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Doesn't make any sense.
That's why I fixed it.
Did that still make sense?
I said for our friend Chase to pass out.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
okay.
I know. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. It was a great little piece of improvisation that no one's going to give me any credit for.
Okay, here we go. Pause while we play it. We're going to actually pause the full 40 seconds. It makes it easier to edit.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about? You're so full of crap.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
We're on the glide path now, Captain Steve Spears.
Try to fix that with the editing.
I'll do what I can.